Greetings once again from my own studio. My name is Russell Stephenson, and today we're going to talk about the design process for my students that are working at home, for those of you that are watching online and hoping to learn something so that you can apply it to your work during this time that we're all in social distancing. We're all working online, we're all working in our own personal spaces. This can be a very challenging time, but it can also be a time of great opportunity, not only for the creation of art and the discoveries that you'll find for yourselves, but in the grander scheme of things, artwork has always been made throughout history, especially during challenging times, and some of the most significant pieces of work have been created during such times of famine, times of war, times of disease. So anyways, we're working from home. Welcome to my studio. I'll show you around a little bit as we go through some of the lessons. I want to start out with information on the design process. I've talked to my students a lot about this in my classes very briefly. It's very dense material. And so this video may be a little long, but I'm going to break it up into some smaller pieces so we can talk about how to go about conceiving projects and thinking about what it is that you want to do. I break down the design process into 5 stages: strategy, concept, design, production, and execution. Today we're going to talk about strategy a little bit and what that means for you, what that means for me. Now, I'm right in the middle of a project. As you can see, I've got this giant canvas. This is 9 feet by 42 inches, and it's broken up into 3 different panels. They're joined at the back, but it's going to be either all one piece or broken up into the 3 pieces and hung on the wall individually. My initial meeting with the client, I walk through this design process, the same with all my clients, the same I do with all of my projects, and hopefully I can share some of this information for you so that it's a little bit informative and you come out of the other end learning something. But the way that you apply it to your own projects is going to be completely up to you. So I'll give you some information of how even some of the amateurs and students do it versus some of the professionals in the design field and the commercial world handle it as well. As for me, I work privately with clients. I work with interior designers based on what it is that they're looking for and their needs, and what it is that I can do for them. And so that's how we get into step number 1 of the design process: strategy. Strategy is basically a meeting with clients, or just a kind of a pep talk that you give yourself so that you can decide what it is that you want to accomplish with any specific project. If you're just working alone and you like to paint for fun, or something that's satisfying, or something that you want to learn a little bit about, the strategy can mean something totally different for you than it maybe does for a professional designer that's working within the parameters of what clients need and what interior designers need, and so on. So there's going to be some variation in how you go about working with your strategy. For me personally, during this project, it meant that initially I met with the client. The client that had seen my work before, they're interested in some of my work. They like a little bit of what I do, but they didn't want to purchase anything that I had already made. They wanted a custom piece for their own home. And so part of the strategy was meeting with them and talking with them about what it is that they liked and what it was about my work that they liked, so that I could formulate an idea, the next phase, the concept phase of this particular project, I got to know them better. I listened. I listened to their words. I listened to what they liked about some of the work and what they liked about art in general, and what their values were, and so on. All this kind of information is something that you can gather from clients so that you can apply them later to the work itself, so that you're speaking to them through artwork. In some cases, that's very direct. In some cases, it's a picture of something that they like, something that's representational, a landscape, or a figurative work, or animals, or whatever, flowers. Anything that is representational can be a very straightforward strategy. In this case, it's going to be completely left up to me as to what that complete creative freedom is going to look like in the work that they're tailoring for me. So in this strategy, I also went to the location of where the artwork was going to be. I took some notes on the environment. I took some notes on the color scheme, the type of fabrics around the house, with the furniture and the flooring and the walls and the tile and everything, just to kind of get a feel for what somebody's private environment looks like, so that I don't make something so off the wall and radical that it just doesn't fit. Everything should, fit very well together, just like a pair of pants that you try on. You don't know if they fit right, or you don't know if they feel good until you put them on. So you put them on, you try them on. If they don't fit, then you take them off, you get another pair. With artwork, it's a little more subjective than that, but at the same time, you want to be able to make your clients happy, so that perhaps maybe you can make return clients as well, repeat clients. Part of the strategy involves looking at that space. Part of the strategy involves figuring out what it is exactly that they want. Something that involves scale, something that involves color schemes, subject matter, anything, any kind of information that you can gather from them will help you develop your strategy. Now, for commercial design, this goes on to what kind of format does it need to be? Should it be door hangers or mailers? Maybe they want a logo design. Maybe they want websites created. Maybe they just want images. Maybe they want a set of photographs. Every strategy is going to be different as to what's going to make the best results for the project. Now, if you're at home and you just like to paint at home and you like to do your own thing, the strategy could just be, what do I want to paint today? And then, what kind of canvas do I have available? Or what size project should this be? The more and more you get into it, in my case, my strategy involves, well, should this be a drawing? Should this be an ink drawing? Should this be a sculpture? Should it be an oil painting? Should it be something small and bold? Should it be something big and outlandish? Depends on what the client wants, and depends on what it is that you want to explore in your own work. Let's see what else. Budget considerations and documentation is important to get from clients. If you're not concerned about that kind of thing, you just work with what you have. But based on a client's needs and a client's budget, that can also develop a very acute strategy for what it is that you can actually deliver based on what their needs are, what their budget is, so that you can move forward from there. Once everything is kind of agreed upon, then you can go into the next phase, which is concept. And I'll talk about that a little bit, perhaps in a separate video. I'm still pretty new at this. I've been in front of classrooms a lot in my career, but being in front of a camera is a little bit different. But look up and do your own research, and look online and find information on design strategies, and look around at your own studio and think about what it is that that you want to make. Maybe you're just coming up with ideas initially in the first place. Maybe it's something that is ongoing, projects that are ongoing, something that you just really like to paint. I like to paint this subject matter, and I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to do different colors. I'm going to do different sizes. The strategy can be as simple or as complex as you make it. In the next part of the video, we'll talk about concept, and I'll get into research and learning more information about the idea and developing the idea and coming up with sketches and drawings and how we go about materializing the concept, the idea, based on what you've learned from your client and based on what you've learned from research. So I hope everybody's doing well in their own spaces in this time of social distancing. Hopefully you will like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. I've got some other things on my channel that explore some of the artwork that I've been doing. But for Go Arts and for Forward Arts and for my Art Institute classes and anybody else listening, I'm going to go through some steps in the design process to hopefully give you a better idea of how you can go about managing your own work, coming up with your own ideas, and then executing them on your own canvases, on your own pieces of paper, in your own studio, in your own time, whatever media you like. And hopefully you'll learn something and we can work and grow together, even though it's virtual, online learning, distance learning, whatever you want to call it. But I'll be back and we'll talk about concept.